Good afternoon to you. This is the CNews Live report at noon. In the headlines, probing CL Financial, the other audit is under scrutiny. We speak to David Walker about the latest CL Financial revelations. And getting ready for school, but will all the repairs be completed in time? NPTA President Zina Ramatali spoke with us. Good afternoon, I'm Stacey Ann Providence. Well, questions are being asked today about the collapse of a parallel audit that's been ongoing for 5 years into CL Financial, that while Sir Anthony Coleman carried out his commission of inquiry. The audit, called Project Charlie, which came to light in a Sunday newspaper investigation, stopped sometime last year because of outstanding fees amounting to $38 million not being paid to the Deloitte and Touche auditors. According to reports, the $94 million forensic investigation was being paid for by the former People's Partnership Administration, with $44 million being paid out from January 2014 to June 2015. Well, joining us on the line to explain this more is David Walker, the CLICO Stakeholders Alliance. Good afternoon, Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
Mr. Walker, can you just break this down for us? What does it all mean right now?
Well, this fits into a pattern that we've seen from the very outset of this whole CLICO mess, which is that things have been happening using our taxpayer dollars, ostensibly to bail out policyholders. But as we are discovering as time goes by and as we peel off the various layers, that most of this money has been unaccounted for, and that there are agreements and contracts and so on that were signed which we, the public, know nothing about. You know, you have to ask yourself, is it a coincidence that over a period of years while this audit has been taking place that nobody has seen fit to mention it to the public? You know, you speak to most people, even people who've been involved intimately with this CLICO business, and most of us were not aware of this parallel audit that was taking place. Now, you could say that, you know, one Minister of Finance might forget to mention it, but over this period of time and with the number of people involved, you sense almost a conspiracy to ensure that we aren't informed. And it fits in with the lack of information that's provided, even where people like myself have made applications under the Freedom of Information Act. I am yet to receive a positive response to even one of my several Freedom of Information requests. And I know that the same applies in even greater degree to other persons who have actually gone to court, won in court, and are having to face an appeal by the government. So there seems a determination to deprive us of information as to what actually transpired, and we really have to push for full disclosure to try to understand where all this money has gone.
All right, so Mr. Walker, where does this leave the stakeholders, the CLICO stakeholders right now that this has come to light?
Well, it's come to light and helps us to understand how something that Kamla Prasad-Bissessar told us would cost $14 billion if we paid everybody has now ended up costing $25 billion. And for me and for my group, it's left us in a position where we feel that legal action is inevitable. You know, we have to force the information out into the public domain, and we don't see any other means of doing that other than legal action. So that's what it's got to be from here. We will try to get information by any means that we are legally able to, but we've come to the conclusion, reluctantly, that the only way we will get to the bottom of this is through a legal action to force the government to disclose the information. Information that should be freely available. It's not that we are asking for any information that in any other jurisdiction would have been unavailable. This is information that we shouldn't be asking for. This should be given as a matter of course. You know,
all right, thank you, Mr. Walker.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walker. David Walker there of the CLICO Stakeholders Alliance. To some other news now. At 7 this morning, the Marshal of the High Court came calling at the corner of Connell and St. Vincent Streets in Tunapuna, the current home of Birdsong Academy. Now, the location had been at the center of a dispute between the Pan School and the landlord, Birdsong had maintained a defiant stance in the face of the order. The property owner, Ramdat Miraj, has obtained a court order for possession of his land, and the court ordered Birdsong to vacate as of March 31st of 2016. And when they refused to comply, the Marshal of the High Court was granted leave to enforce the order and gave the Pan School until August 15th. Now, CNews had spoken to Dennis Phillip, the founder-director of Birdsong, on August 15th about how the academy planned to respond to the order.
We are not about to cooperate with our executioners. Let them put it on the road. You know, if somebody tells you they're coming to assassinate you tomorrow, you do not present yourself and stretch your neck and lie down.
Well, this morning they were moved, and the immediate future of the academy remains uncertain.
With a program fighting crime, and their program, what they're doing here in Birdsong, is now demolished. The band don't know where they're going. The band came and asked for some extended time to put in their program, to ask for a little stay of execution, and nobody took them on.
And that was Keith Diaz, the president of Pan Trinbago, there giving his views on the whole Birdsong Academy situation. Well, this is the CNews report at noon. I'm Stacey Ann Providence. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website at ctvtt.com. Now we're getting reports of two bodies washing ashore at the back of Movie Town at Invaders Bay. We'll have more on this story for you a little later. Our reporter Ian Wason is on the scene, and we hope to get in contact with him then. Well, crab and oyster vendors in Woodland, who have been struggling to survive since oil seeped into the mangrove more than a month ago, also want monetary assistance from the government. Vendors Association President Madan Rambarose said they too had been suffering poor sales. Last week, the cabinet approved $1 million to assist fishermen affected by recent fish kills in the Gulf of Paria. Well, parents in different parts of the country are hoping that come September 5th, all schools undergoing repair work will be complete. President of the National Parent-Teachers Association, Zina Ramatali, says it's important that children receive the required time to cover everything in their curriculum. The NPTA president stresses that when the schools are not ready, the children's performance drop considerably as they are away from a learning environment. Ms. Ramatali says in the past they have not been pleased by the work done by the Education Facilities Company Limited.
But we are giving this new board a chance to deliver. However, by next week, we will be able to give a judgment on the performance, or the capabilities of EFCL to conduct and manage the volume of repairs that is actually needed across the nation's schools.
She says two schools in particular, Arang West North Secondary and Five Rivers Secondary, have lost a considerable amount of teaching time.
Arang West North Secondary, those children lost about 2 years of teaching. Around Five Rivers Secondary, they had about, some of the classes had 1 day and so on. And what I found out recently is that some of those children, they were transferred to various schools, and I got a call that some of those children who are now going to Form 2 are performing really badly in maths and English.
And staying with education, the network of NGOs for the advancement of women will be having a book drive until August 31st to assist parents who need school books for their children, especially single moms, and it's currently being conducted at the Diego Martin Consumer Cooperative Society. Director Hazel Brown says school books are a very important part of children's preparation in the education process, and parents are invited to bring in school books in good condition in exchange for those their children will need.
Getting school books for children is a challenge that many women have, and we think working together we can deal with the problem. What I'd like people to do, if you can, is if you can email us the list of the books that you have, and also the list the things that you're looking for. Because in today's technology, it should be possible for us to do this exchange without even having to leave the house, except to bring it to say, these are the books I want, and this is what I need, and this is what I have, and for us to do the exchange there. But we haven't quite gotten there. Maybe next year we will get an electronic electronically managed school book exchange.
And taking a look at sport news now, TNT's Olympic shot putter Cleopatra Borrell is hoping to see more done for young athletes here. She believes that they have the potential to do more than they think, especially if trained at an earlier age. She says younger athletes can be directed into other events besides sprinting.
I think that we try to specialize too early. We have so many young little sprinters, and sprinting is great, and we're great at sprinting here in Trinidad and Tobago. However, I think that a lot of our sprinters can be sprinting down a javelin runway, can sprint in a discus circle, can glide quickly across the shot circle, and even in the hammer throw. We haven't had a hammer thrower since Candace Scott. And Candace was a phenomenal athlete, and we have to build on that. So I think our kids are specializing too early.
So what's next for Cleopatra? Will she be a part of the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo?
Going to Tokyo, or whether I'm going to Tokyo as a coach, an administrator, athlete, is uncertain, but I'm really excited for the Tokyo Games. I think it's going to be something really, really special, and I'm not going to miss it.
Well, this country's victorious national under-19 basketballers returned home last evening, fresh from winning the Caribbean Hoop Fest in Jamaica on Saturday. The team, led by head coach Mario Davis, defeated Team USA 83-65 in the final on Saturday. Mario Davis says the team overcame challenges to bring home gold.
During the course of the tournament, Wednesday to Sunday, we face adversity every day. Stuff off the court that would affect us on the court. So what we try to do as the technical staff is to eliminate any doubt or worry with the players and keep them focused. So I think we did a good job of that.
Center Tariq Singh is ready to use the experience he gained back on the local circuit.
First day, as the manager said, we went into double overtime, so it was a hard-fought competition from the beginning. And well, we overcome it because we were prepared from start. The coaches had us practicing for a while, I believe since April. So we put in the work and the results show.
And playing cricket this late in the year is always going to be a problematic given the rainy weather at this time. So done as the fourth test between the West Indies and India was ruined by a damp outfield that never dried sufficiently to satisfy the officials, even though there were 3 full days of brilliant sunshine. Now, ticket refunds for days 2 through 5 of the fourth test at the Queen's Park Oval have begun this morning. Patrons who purchase tickets for these match days can collect their refund at the box office located at the Queen's Park Oval. And that brings us to the end of the news. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews Live Facebook page and follow us on Twitter at CNews Live. CNews, powered by a team of journalists and producers across the Republic and the region on television, radio, and online. CNews, your country, our job.